Well, our main card just got an extra fight added, right? Just the last minute. A new fight has been added. So it's gone from 3 to 4 bouts, right? Everything. So this, oh God, what do you call it? Order. This order may change, right? At the moment, this is what, I have. So we start off with the featherweights. We have Patricio Pitbull against how do you say homie's name? Losene. Oh boy. I'm not even sure. Losene Keita, I think, right? Losene Keita, Black Panther. He is 27, 5'9". We don't have the reach. He's 16-1, currently on a 5-fight win streak. You know what I mean? He's got an overall record of, did I say 16-1? I think I said that. Anyway, people, this is his UFC debut, right? He was a champion in the other promotion he was fighting out of. I think it's Octagon. I think he came from Octagon, right? So yeah, I think he won the belt there, right? So that last fight was December 2024, second round stoppage. When you look at the record, right, he does have a few, he does like to finish a fight, right? Knockouts, right? That's what he's going for. There's no substitutions here. He ain't fucking around like that. He's trying to take your head off, people. You know what I mean? That's what he's doing. And he has done it on a number of occasions, right? His sole loss was due to a foot injury. So, technically undefeated. You know what I mean? So this is an interesting one. Now he has gone the distance. It's not all, first round, first few second knockouts, anything like that. He does go the distance, which is something you want to see, right? Because oftentimes people are like, super henched up. But that means after a minute, mad lactic acid, and they, can't do the shit, right? They gas out, right? So knowing someone, can go that distance, that's a good thing to know, right? That's a good thing to know. You know what? He was a double champion, actually, in Octagon. So that's an interesting thing. I'm not quite sure. I think he must have probably gone from maybe bantamweight to featherweight. I'm imagining, right? I don't think it would work the other way around, but we've seen crazier things, so who knows? But yes, he was a 2-weight division champion, so that is interesting. And as I said, he's going up against Pitbull, right, who is 38, 5'6", 67-inch reach, 37-8 record, coming off a win in his last fight, where he definitely was better than his first fight in the UFC against Yair Rodriguez. And Yair Rodriguez is who I was thinking of earlier, who fought Brian Ortega and the injury and blah blah blah. Yair Rodriguez. Now, in the second fight, he definitely threw more. It still wasn't a crazy amount of punches, but he did throw more. And I think it's that he landed that big shot on E, right? That was like, oh, and then that put E on the back foot. But, he's just had so many fucking fights, right? 24-6 in Bellator. You know what I mean? So he's fought a lot. So this will be his third fight in the UFC and his third fight of 2025, right? April, July, and now September. So he is keeping busy. He is definitely keeping busy. And I think that's probably busier, maybe on a a tighter schedule than he's done previously. But Pitbull is one of these cats that does like to fight, right? So if you give him the fights, he's going to take the fights. And we know, he's a black belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, right? He can knock people out, as we saw. He didn't knock Ig out, but he landed that big shot that did rock him, right? So we know Pitbull's got that power. Now, I like to be country, right? So I'm going for Keita to make a stellar debut with the win, right? I feel he's probably younger. Well, I know he's younger, right? I think he just comes with the speed, with the violence, and Pitbull has everything. You know what I mean? Like, now it's just to show that he can hang in the big show, right? He's finally got to UFC. We just want to show he can hang, right? So I don't know if he feels he can win the belt. You know what I mean? But Keita wants to win the belt, right? So I think it's just that different energy. So I'm taking Keita, the Black Panther, for the win. Right? So this is our new fight, right? This is this new addition that's come out of nowhere. The lightweights, Ziam against Fernandes. So this is very intriguing, people. Very intriguing. So Fernandes, he is 30, 5'9", 73-inch reach. He's 10-2 overall on a 2-fight win streak currently. Right, 2-1 in the UFC, went 2-1 in LFA. So last time out, it was a unanimous decision against Goram Kutsalades. That was in March this year. In August 2024, he stopped Mohamed Yaya in the first round. He lost his debut to Mark Duplessis. That was November 2023. And if I remember right, Duplessis turned into a wrestler in that fight, which I think surprised a lot of people, right? Especially Ziam. Now, in the LFA, he got, both of those fights for stoppages, head kick and a body kick. So he's got that power, right? And the dexterity, to get that leg up, knocking you out with that kick. You know what I mean? He does have a couple of arm bars, on the record early in his career. But yeah, right now he does like the knockout, right? He does like the knockout. Now, he is going up against... Wait. Yes, Fernandes, he's going up against Smile Killer Fares Ziam. Right, who is 28, 6'1", 75-inch reach. He's got an overall record of 17-4. He is currently on a 5-fight win streak. Okay, so he's 7-2 in the UFC. He fought February this year, beat Mike Davis. Before that, right, he stopped Matt Favola with that just killer knee in the third round in September 2024. I think that was back in Paris. Yeah, I think that one was in Paris too. So that was spectacular, right? So, yeah, he lost his debut. Then he came back, won a couple, got caught by Terence McKinney with a rear naked, which is interesting, because Terence McKinney does like to bang, right? But then he's won the next 5, right? So, man, yeah, he has got skills. He's fighting at home. I'm taking Smile Killer to get that win, people. You know what I mean? So we then go to the light heavyweights. We've got mobstar Bukauskas against Paul Craig. Alright? So the Beju Paul Craig, he's 37, 6'3", 76-inch reach. He's got a 17-9-1 with 1 no contest overall record, and he's on a 3-fight skid. So he does need a win. Right? He does need a win. He's 9-9 with 1 draw and 1 no contest in the UFC. And it's just been a bit, it's a no contest in the last fight against Rodolfo Balato, right? Which was very contentious, that one. He lost to Bo Nickel, Kai Bahara, right, who's in the main event, Brandon Allen. Those were his losses. And yeah, I mean, he needs a win, right? He beat Andre Muniz, which, stopped a 2-fight skid against Johnny Walker and Volkan Oezdemir. But, man, it's just been a bit... It's not been good for Craig. And, right, so he cut down to middleweight. That didn't go well. So then he moved back up. And I think the problem is, it's the striking. His striking is just not great. And he talks about working on his striking, improving his striking. But really, we don't... It's hard to make those changes at this point in your career, and you're never gonna catch up with the people who have good striking. You know what I mean? Like you're not even gonna get to good, because you'll get to a point, but everyone is still working on their shit, so they're still going to be leaps and bounds ahead of you. Right, so Craig, it's just about getting the strike so he can try and get you down. But he doesn't have great takedowns. Now, on the ground, he's very good. But it's getting people to the ground. And it's the stand-up, you know what I mean? Because sometimes his chin's too far up and he's up. And the stance is off and all of this. And that's been the problem. Right now, he's going up against Bukauskas, who, I mean, he's got good stand-up, right? The Baltic Gladiator. He's 31, 6'3", 78-inch reach. He's got an 18-6 overall record, and he's on a 3-fight win streak right now. Right? He's 6-4 in the UFC, 7-1 in Cage Warriors. This is his second stint in the UFC. Right? He got cut, but got his way back, right? He won the Cage Warriors belt, and came back, beat Tyson Pedro convincingly. Zach Puga. Now, he did lose to Vitor Petrino, right? But then he's come back and won the next 3, right? arm triangle Marcin Pacino. Stopped Rafael Sencuria in the first. Got a split decision over Ion Cutelabra. That was May this year. So I think he's just... For Paul Craig to win this fight, Bukauskas has to do something stupid, right? It would be a bit like Jamal Hill, right? When Jamal Hill was winning the stand-up but went to the ground with him. Don't go to the ground. So if Bukauskas gets cocky and goes to the ground, Craig could pull off a win. But I think Bukauskas has kind of, you know what I mean, a bit like Sam Patterson. He's hit his flow. And I think Bukauskas gets this win. Unfortunately, this may be the last time we see Paul Craig in the UFC. This may be it. And if it is, and I'm Craig, I think you just end the career right there. Right? Just because going to the regionals and get fighting against youngsters who have been working on everything now. There's the young generation coming through. They're not just specializing in one thing like Craig has done with jiu-jitsu. They're working everything. So he's going to be fighting youngsters with better hands than him. He's going to be the vet. So he can pull off wins and all of this, but he's going against youngsters who will be looking to make a name off of him. There's no reward to that. You know what I mean? So if Craig loses and gets cut, I feel he just... You know what I mean? I think he can do his thing training, right? That could be the thing. And could serve him well. But, you know, he could still win. Right, he could still win, but I do have Modestas Bukauskas for the victory. So our last fight in the of the main card, before we get to our last two, is a lightweight clash. Right, we have got Mason Jones against Bolaji. So this is an interesting one, right? So Mason the Dragon Jones. Okay, so he won his return to the UFC, right? Won his return to the UFC. Looked good. He's 30, 5'10", 74-inch reach. He's got a 16-2 with 1 no contest overall record. He's on a 5-fight win streak, people. You know what I mean? He's currently 2-2 in the UFC with 1 no contest. So in his first run, he did go 2-1. Sorry, 1-2. Got cut. Went back to Cage Warriors. He's 12 fights undefeated in Cage Warriors. So he worked his way back. And for his return to UFC, they gave him Jeremy Stevens on his return. Right? So that was always an interesting one. Stevens and Jones back on their returns. Right? And he did look good. You know what I mean? He did look good in that fight. He's durable. He's, you know what I mean? He will push the pace. Like, he's a very good fighter, Mason Jones, right? And he was getting stoppages in Cage Warriors, right? So he's working on all of that, right? So I think that's important. You know what I mean? That's important. I believe he was also a 2-division champion in Cage Warriors too. I think he was featherweight and lightweight. So there is mad potential in Jones. And I think, right, I think we're going to see that now on his return. Now he's going up against the Zulu warrior, Bolaji Oko. Right, he's 29, 5'10", 73-inch reach. He's got a 10-2 record overall, coming off a win in his last fight. Right, he's 2-1 in the UFC. Came via the Contender Series. So last time out in May this year, he beat Michael as well. Looked very good in that fight, right? He and that was coming off a loss, right? Got caught in a guillotine by Chris Duncan. That was September 2024. He won his debut split decision against Timmy Kumba. Looked very good on the Contender Series, first round stoppage, right? And, you know, outside, right, he was getting stoppages, did have a guillotine win, right? So he does have power, you know what I mean? Got someone with a knee to the liver, nasty, right? Very nasty. He won a title outside the UFC. So he's definitely got skills, right? I just think Mason Jones just has that experience edge, right? That experience edge, second time in the promotion. So yeah, I think I'm taking Mason Jones for the win. But this should be a very compelling fight to take us into the last two of the night, right? This takes us to the co-main, people. What's going to happen there?